right, good afternoon, guys. Fast Eddie here. Sunday afternoon here in the Philippines, June 1st, start of a new month, and going to give you the much anticipated video on what we paid to have this pool built here in the Philippines, and do a quick walk around here so we're all talking about the same thing. There is our pool right there. It's about 5 meters, 15 feet by 9 meters, about 27 feet long. The deepest part down there is a little over 9 feet, 3 meters. It is tiled. Basically, if I have the playlist for all your videos there. You want to go back and take a look at what we endured. Digging the hole for the pool was a 2-week project. It was only supposed to be a couple days, but a little bit longer than that. And then it took 12 weeks, about 11 weeks really, to build the pool with the slide and everything in it. So, but that was what they gave us in the estimate, the pool company. They said it would be 12 weeks, and that's kind of what they did. So, and here we are. My wife got her music going, gonna do karaoke in a second, but I'm asking her to hold off till I get this done. And we had a slide built. This was built out of cement and exposed aggregate up there. And this was not part of the pool build, and so we paid extra for this at the end. They built that. And the stairs, our crew built the stairs, our construction crew, our house crew, and they built the stairs and the railing up there because that was not part of the bid. And the pool guys really don't do metal work, so we did that. And we've got our pump house in here with a DE filter, which I'm really starting to like. It really is pretty effective. And then all the plumbing in here and all your electronics and stuff. And since we have a electrician working here on our house, we just had him come over here and took care of all the extra stuff there while we were doing that. So anyway, so that's our pool build there. And we did have one custom feature added to the pool here. And well, we had a bench put in down here. You can see right there, there's a bench in there. We're just sitting, which seems to be fun with the kids. And down here, and then we had the custom tile put in there for C, for Caroline. So that way, if I'm ever swimming, and I'll know where I'm at. All right, guys, let's go talk money. Good morning, guys, and today we are going to talk about continuation. You saw the video of the pool, and now I'm going to go over the numbers on what we spent to build this pool. Before we got started on the pool, we obviously had it drawn up as a design, and we had to get a permit, and so we paid the engineer, and the permit process, that was 11,700 pesos, $211 for the plan and the actual permit to build the pool. We then moved on to the excavating, moving the dirt out, and well, actually wasn't a whole lot of dirt. There was a lot of rock, and that took what was supposed to be a couple-day project turned out to be a 2-week project. We had to get dump trucks in here. We had to move all the rock out of the way. We took some of the rock over to my father-in-law's house, over to my brother-in-law's house. It's the anapole rock, the limestone. It's good for road building. It's not muddy, so you can get that road down, and it's not nearly as slippery. So, and we actually used some of it in our side yard. If you go back and look at the videos, we spread it out so we could drive through our side yard without getting stuck in the mud. So we paid to have that done. The excavating was it was 104,000 pesos, and I'm rounding these numbers off for you. I'll put the exact numbers in right here in the text and everything. So 104,000 pesos, which is $1,870 for the dump trucks and the excavating. Which, in the scheme of things, if you think about that, if you had an excavator running in your yard for 2 weeks in the States, I mean, I don't think the total $1,800 would cover the first day, half day maybe, I don't know, but it seemed pretty reasonable to me. All right. So once we got the hole dug, we had to put down our hollow block, which we spent 13,000 pesos on, $236 for hollow block, and we had rebar, which was 46,430 for rebar, which is $834. For sand, we spent 46,500 on that pesos, which is a total of $835. And then the gravel was 23,280, which is 418, and then the cement to make our concrete. You know, you got your sand, your gravel, and your cement there to make your gravel. Cement was 76,000 pesos, which is $1,341. So we spent. I mean, we spent about between the sand, gravel, and cement. We spent about would have been just over like maybe $2,300 for all the cement, which basically made up kind of the basic structure of the entire pool. Then we went to the tile, the blue tile you see in your picture here, and that was 1,123. Initially, it was a lot more. They quoted the estimate they gave us for the tile was about 25% more than we needed. So we ended up taking it back about a quarter of the tile we ended up purchasing, and we went through. We had less than probably 1% breakage. There was some breakage, but nothing significant at all in the tiles. There was a box that had a couple mismatched tiles in it. They were completely different color. They were a blue solid tiles. I'm not sure how that happened, but things like that I guess do happen. And overall, I really liked the way the white tiles, that was only a few bucks, but we made that of the sea. They actually took two big tiles. We had two 30 by 60 centimeter tiles and laid those out there and made that sea with them there. I was kind of curious how they were going to do that. And so they lay all the tiles down and then they come back and mark where they're going to put that sea. And then they cut out the blue tiles and cut out and then drop in the white ones and fit them in there. So I liked how that went together there. So plumbing, we spent 17,000 on plumbing, $313 on plumbing stuff, and this number here, I didn't get a chance to verify it, but to me that seems a bit high. So I'm not sure if I'm missing something or forgetting something, but that seems a bit high. There was just some pipe in there and stuff, and I'm not quite sure. Maybe we bought something else and just the receipt got miscategorized, but in the end, it's probably not the end of the world there. Electrical, we spent what did we spend? 1,500 on electrical, so like 27 bucks for the electrical stuff. Uh, and miscellaneous, we spent $313 on miscellaneous. That's your tie wires, probably your grout may be in there, just different things, nails for the guys when they're building their scaffolding. I think the exposed aggregate, the pebbles we bought to go around that. I'm trying to think of some other stuff that we may have picked up for the guys anytime they needed something. You know, we'd go get it, the fittings, but whatever. So the total actual cost of the materials for building the pool itself were 415 pesos or 7,468. So it took what it took to get the permit, dig the hole out, and then and build the shell of the pool. And so the labor. Well, let me go back. Let me drop down to the pool equipment here. The actual pool equipment, which is your pump, your filters, your what else? We got the lights in there, the skimmer, the vacuum hose, all those kind of things. We spent that was actually 200,000 pesos, which is 303,600 for that. And then for labor we spent 355,000 pesos on labor, which is 6,378 dollars for labor over the course of the 12 weeks that the guys were building the pool, 11 weeks that they were building the pool. And then we there was a difference between the plan, the permit. The pool was actually a little bigger than we built it a little bigger than the actual plan was, and what the guy the original estimate for the pool was. And so, we negotiated an additional increase in their labor cost there, and that turned out to be 43,500 pesos, an extra $781. And I didn't have a problem with that because we went deeper than we were initially going to go, and we went a little bit wider. There was some confusion between the civil engineer and the pool builder on what the size of the pool was going to be. And so when he gave us his price, he was based on the smaller pool. So definitely want to treat people fairly. And so I didn't have a problem with paying them extra there. And then we paid the slide. The slide was extra, and that was an extra 20,000 pesos, $359 for them to build that cement slide for us. And and then the stairs, obviously, and the metalwork, that just kind of rolled into our house build there. The cost of that, and the laborers over there, and the electrical stuff. Just had the electrician come over and do that for us. So that just kind of rolled into our house build. So that'd be a little bit extra. So that brings us down to what did it total cost for this house build? And we spent just over 1 million pesos. 1 million, it looks like 34, or yeah, just over 1 million pesos. And so about $18,588 to build this pool. And I love the pool. It's been really nice so far. You're just jumping in there. It's I had a pool for the last 20 odd years in California. You could use it even with the solar heater. You used it maybe 3 or 4 months out of the year. It just didn't get a lot of use. The water was always pretty cold. Here, the water is very comfortable. In fact, at nighttime, the water is warmer than the outside air here. And so it's just nice to swim. We pretty much have used it every day and every night since it's been filled. We have some either family comes over and goes swimming on Saturday nights when we have our dinner for our crew. The guys with kids, they bring their kids over and they swim in it while they're eating dinner and stuff. And we've had some kids from the local paroque here. They've come over and swim. One of our neighbors who had been the lady that allowed us to run the hose through her yard while we were filling it up. Her grandson and granddaughter came over and swam, and they swam. Excuse me, and then they told some other kids in the paroque that they had come over here to swim, and so they asked if they could come swimming. So we invited them over on Saturday, and they went swimming too. And we bought some life jackets because a lot of the kids here don't know how to swim. They're not afraid of water, which is kind of shocking, but they don't know how to swim. So we got life jackets for them, and a lot of them can swim. They say they can't, but they're not afraid of water. They know how to dog paddle. They make motions, which is 9/10 of the battle there. And so they wear their life jackets and they have fun and everything. Most of them have tried to slide out, and we got some kickboards for them as well. So it's nice to see people enjoying it. And we Ryan came over. He's kind of the shift lead that built the pool, and he walked us through the filters and stuff again, and how to clean everything and do everything. A pool chemical place here. A foreigner expat, young guy, who is married to a Filipina who's got a construction business here in the Philippines, and he has a pool supply store in the Philippines. Gentleman from Slovenia, of all places. And he delivers our pool chemical supplies for us. He just made a trip over here yesterday. So we got a floater now. We got tablets. We got everything we need. And so that'll save us from going into Tag Me, and his prices are more competitive too. So it's kind of nice. So there we are with the pool. And like I said, I'll put the prices. You'll see all the text messages here. Anybody have any questions, just let me know. I'll probably give you some updates because we're going to paint the pump house, paint the walls. I don't know if we're going to do the murals right now. I think we're just going to paint the walls, kind of a light gray, and be done with it. And we got so much other stuff going on, and the mural thing just doesn't seem to be happening right now. So anyway, so that's where we are. And if you got any questions, just feel free to ask in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up, and thanks for watching, guys.